And we're back. Welcome back to Backstage. Thank you all for tuning in here on Channel 82. And we are sitting here talking with Toni Robinson. And yes, we were explaining about what cassettes were. They came after 8-tracks. We leave that one alone.
Yes,
okay?
Because we remember those.
We do. 8 tracks that you could put in and play 8 songs. Hence the word 8 tracks. And there was no rewinding or fast forwarding. You clicked it, it went to the next song. I had the blue box. They had the blue and the red, and yeah, we're that old, that young, sorry. Anyway, so your sister Michelle, who, by the way, is she still in nursing?
She is actually, she's teaching now.
She's teaching.
She's teaching nursing.
And your other sister?
My youngest sister, Angela.
Yeah.
She's actually in Atlanta. She is manager, Southwest region, I believe, if I have get this right, in Atlanta for a major pharmaceutical company.
Okay. And
so she's doing good.
Stokes
is still here on the island. He's a grandfather.
He's a who?
He's a grandfather.
Wow.
Or I should say he's a papa.
No, you said it right the first time.
Yeah, he's a grandfather. Married. It's doing wonderful. And I do have another sister, Linda, but a lot of folks don't remember her.
I was getting to her because
you get Linda?
Yeah, she was the youngest.
No, Angela's the youngest. Yes.
That's right.
Linda is actually just a little older than her. Okay. Linda is actually in England. She went to school there, got married. She went to England, but she and her husband have now moved to California.
Okay.
So she's doing great.
One extreme to the next.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Enjoying it.
So, all right. So your sister bought this cassette.
Yes, Sandy Patty, and she said, "This lady reminds me of you." And I'm thinking, when I heard it,
the sound, the style.
Yes, because at that time, singing at First Church with the Inspiration Choir, I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do, even as a vocalist, because that was the time also, you know, the choirs, there were big choirs and singers with these big voices, and I was told, well, you know, you have a really nice voice, but it's just not as big as Jennifer.
Oh, wow, Jennifer Butterfield. She still has a very strong voice.
A big voice.
Yeah.
And the soloists, the women especially at that time, were known to have big voices. I didn't have a big voice like that. Yeah. So when my sister brought this cassette and I played it, it was literally like something just settled in my spirit and said, this is what you do. So
did that come down to your technique, your breathing techniques, and
even
singing from the diaphragm even more, or just
not the breathing, but just the style?
The style, okay.
You know, because like I said, Sandy Patty, classically trained vocalist, so her style was more. I mean, at the time, folks were saying more operatic, but it was classical.
It was classical,
and that fit my voice at the time. And I didn't look back. So everything that Sandy Patty produced and I was able to get music for, that's what I purchased. Jimmy Foley, was literally my first accompanist, and he was a great help and really a blessing to me. He was the one who shared with me that enunciation is key when you sing.
Yeah.
Because if folks cannot understand what you're singing, the message is
lost. Yeah. So, because I was going to say, people don't realize, but like I said, you've been singing since a young child. You never were professionally vocally trained. You know,
I haven't
in the beginning stages of it.
No.
But when Jimmy came along, and he kind of trained you by saying that, enunciating more. So that was a form of training in itself right there. But you really never, you know, had in the classroom doing the me-me-me's.
No formal training, which was a surprise for some folks. I have to say, individuals, Dr. Gary Burgess, the late Dr. Gary Burgess, I started taking some lessons with him, but wasn't able to continue time. But the one thing that he taught me was how to breathe properly.
There you go.
And that's key. Breathing well is key. After that, I had the opportunity to perform with the Philharmonic Chorus, the orchestra while he was conductor, which was absolutely wonderful experience.
Must be. Yeah, I was just going to say, must be something having a full orchestra behind you. And you know, they say this the whole 9 yards, not just Ronald and Rhoda.
Yes.
And we're talking about the Suttons.
Yes.
You know, where the pianist and the organist at First Church of God for the inspirational choir.
Yes, Ronald Simmons and
Ronald
Rhoda
Simmons,
Sutton. Yes.
Yeah, Rhoda Sutton. Fantastic. Oh
my
man.
gosh.
Weren't they ever brother and sister? They were
Awesome.
absolutely wonderful.
Awesome.
You know, and but to have the violins and the woodwinds and everything else behind you, that full sound of music, it really does something, because going into your ear and flowing through your body and then resonating through your voice coming
Absolutely.
out. That makes the complete. Makes it
It's a
complete.
wonderful experience, and that's what I like about Sandy Patty. The arrangements of her songs, full orchestra.
Full orchestra.
So it's just a wonderful effect when you're singing things like "How Great Thou Art" and "Amazing Grace."
Classics.
And yes, and they're hymns, but you know, with a full orchestra, absolutely amazing.
How many times has Amazing Grace been remade, but the melody has never changed?
Never changed.
It has never changed. I mean, you got some falsettos in there. You know, people want to change it up with all that.
It is I believe, one of the most familiar
songs.
Hymns.
Yeah. Yes, hymns. Let's get it.
You know,
correct.
one of the most familiar hymns, even to folks who have not even gone to church.
Even more so than going up the rough side of the mountain.
Absolutely.
And that
Amazing
song,
Grace.
because just over the Easter weekend, you know, my wife and I, we go to a family and we play marbles and, you know, the whole 9 yards. And at the end of the event, we actually ended the night playing the song Rough Side of the Mountain. Everybody that was there was singing that song.
Singing that song.
Everybody.
So
and
familiar.
it was just so familiar. And Amazing Grace has that same effect.
Yes.
You know, people walk around there be humming it. Like you say, even if you're not a church goer, you know Amazing Grace.
There are occasions, I believe, in the U.S. if police officers, there are funerals and there may be someone with bagpipes. And they're playing.
And that's the play.
They're
playing that. They'll have
sometimes they're playing Amazing Grace.
Yeah.
But it's very familiar, very, it's a hymn. For me, it never gets old.
And
How Great Thou Art never gets old.
It's been around.
And I will continue to sing them as long as I have breath.
All right.
As long as I have breath.
And on that note, we will be back after this. We're going to be talking more with Miss Toni Robinson. We're going to find out where she's going from here. We already heard that she's going to be in the studio. Let's find out what that's all about. We'll be right back right after this.